In the heart of Zowalo, a bustling city rich in culture and secrets, stood a massive church called Fire Mountain of Glory. Its towering spires cast long shadows over the nearby market and homes, and each Sunday, worshippers from across the city poured into the sanctuary to hear the fiery sermons of Prophetess Mombo. Clad in flowing white robes, her head wrapped in golden scarves, she performed miracles that stunned the crowds. Blind men saw, barren women conceived, and jobless men returned with testimonies. What no one knew was that Prophetess Mombo was no ordinary woman of God. Deep in the basement beneath the pulpit, she performed rituals under moonlight, whispering incantations in forgotten dialects. She fed a giant tortoise herb soaked in blood, whispering instructions for wealth, control, and fame. The tortoise, she believed, was a spiritual medium between her and an ancient forest deity. Every week, testimonies of healing and divine encounters multiplied. People traveled from nearby towns to receive mantles of breakthrough. Mombo waved her hands, and people fell to the ground, shaking. She told them it was the Holy Spirit. Offerings flooded in cars, cash, and lands, all laid at her feet. No one questioned her because the miracles were too real to deny. Meanwhile, the tortoise under the pulpit fed off the energy of their belief and sacrifices. It grew stronger, and so did Mombo's influence. She was now invited to speak at international crusades. Posters of her face flooded lampposts, and her name was sung in praise. But every power has its price, and every dark deal eventually comes due. Some older members of the church began to feel uneasy. A woman named Mama Kusi, who had served in the choir for over a decade, had dreams of a shell and red eyes staring at her from beneath the altar. She shared her concerns with others, but they quickly silenced her. "Touch not God's anointed," they warned. Yet, whispers began to spread. Strange smells came from the altar when no one was around. A few junior pastors reported hearing scratching sounds during midnight prayers. Mombo always dismissed these concerns, claiming angels were moving beneath the sanctuary. No one dared question her. One humid Sunday, as the congregation danced and shouted in praise, a dirty, black dog entered the church from the back. Its eyes glowed faintly, and its steps were slow and deliberate. Ushers tried to chase it away, but it dodged them, walking straight down the center aisle. The entire church fell silent as the dog walked calmly to the pulpit, sniffed the floor, and began barking violently. Prophetess Mombo, mid-sermon, froze. Her face twitched as the dog scratched at the ground beneath the pulpit. Gasps erupted as the dog's claws loosened the tiles, revealing a secret compartment. The church exploded in chaos as the dog pulled out a massive, dark-shelled tortoise, its shell etched with strange carvings. The creature hissed and blinked slowly, its eyes glowing faintly red. Some screamed, others fainted. Mombo tried to speak, but her voice cracked. Her power seemed to shrink with every heartbeat. The dog stood guard over the tortoise like a soldier. Suddenly, Mombo dropped her microphone and ran out the side door. Her flowing robes fluttered behind her as cries of betrayal filled the air. Elders tried to gather themselves, but the shock was too great. The miracle-working woman they trusted had hidden a creature of sorcery under their feet all along. The following day, news of the discovery went viral. Videos from shocked church members circulated on social media. Prophetess Mombo exposed, the headlines screamed. The police launched an investigation, but Mombo had vanished. Her mansion was abandoned, her phones unreachable. The church locked its gates. Investigators found traces of ritual items beneath the pulpit, bones, feathers, jars of blood. The tortoise was taken by animal control but died mysteriously within hours. Mama Kusi wept. "I knew it," she whispered. She was never of God. Through interviews with former associates, journalists pieced together Mombo's past. Born as Omajayamfua in a small village, she was once a gifted herbalist. After losing her family in a tragic fire, she sought power to protect herself. She found it in the forest, where an old priest initiated her into a secret order. Her rise to fame had been orchestrated, each miracle staged through spiritual manipulation and herbal science. She'd used the tortoise as a living altar to trap the energies of her followers. The deeper her deception, the more invincible she felt, until the dog came. The question on everyone's lips was, where did the dog come from? No one claimed it. It had no collar, no owner, and had disappeared after the incident. Some said it was a messenger from God. Others believed it was a spirit sent by ancestors to correct a great wrong. An old prophet who had once clashed with Mombo claimed in an interview, the spirits grew tired of being mocked. When you abuse the sacred, they respond. The city was divided, some repented, others turned cynical. But everyone knew the event was not ordinary. Churches across the city began to examine themselves. Leaders called for fasting and prayer, urging their members to seek truth over spectacle. A few confessed to using minor charms and vowed to turn a new leaf. The spiritual climate of Dzowalu shifted, less show, more sincerity. Mama Kusi reopened the church as a small prayer center. She removed all luxury and invited only those hungry for real fellowship. Slowly, the place filled again, not with fanfare, but with heart seeking God. The pulpit was rebuilt, and this time, nothing was hidden beneath it. Months later, a thin, ragged woman appeared at the edge of the market. Her robes were torn, her hair disheveled. It was Mombo, or what was left of her. She walked with no shoes and avoided every eye. She approached the church but did not enter. She stood at the gate, weeping. Mama Kusi came out and stood before her. Mombo fell to her knees and confessed everything. The crowd watched in silence. Kusi said only this: truth is painful, but necessary. She prayed over her, and for the first time, Mombo felt peace, not from power, but from release.